Hi there. One of the complaints I hear the most is that patients don't feel like their physicians are paying attention to them and not listening. For many reasons, fibromyalgia is like that elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. We can start with the fact that unfortunately, most physicians have a full schedule. They usually have bookings every 5 to 15 minutes. I used to see from 21 to 24 patients a day in one of my shifts. Um, so it's practically impossible to get a meaningful conversation while doing a physical exam, going over lab tests, etc. Right? Most of the time, physicians are not in control of their schedules. Most are employees of a practice, a big insurance company, or a big hospital. Their appointments are made by a booking system that looks into metrics, quality, and productivity. I've been there. Fibromyalgia is called intangible disease because the exact cause is still unknown, and it has been challenging to come up with specific tools for diagnosis. Even for diagnosis, sometimes it can be years until they tell you, oh, finally, yes, you have fibromyalgia. There are many theories out there, but nothing has been determined. Many physicians say, okay, I think you're depressed or anxious. I would like to tell you something. You're not crazy or lazy. You have a disease. I believe that the way that we need to address fibromyalgia is from a completely different approach because it affects not only the body, but also the mind and the spirit. And it's impossible to treat only the physical symptoms without addressing the psychological or the psychological without the physical symptoms, right? We human beings are a whole. The most common treatment now is to prescribe medications, right? Antidepressants, antipsychotics, which have the side effects that you're aware of, right? Also extensive therapy, psychotherapy, psychologists, behavioral therapy, and pain medications that go from the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory to the big guns used by the pain management, such as opioids and morphine, etc., that also have side effects. However, with time, they tend to have more negligible effect. They tend to fade, right? Effect. Not to mention the impact they cause on the pain receptors and the body's physiological mechanisms and functioning, to put it in more simple words. So I would like to tell you to look for a provider that connects with you. Now, the dynamics of a relationship are different with different people. It's the same with friendships, right? With a physician, sometimes you have to try different personalities until you feel that click. Picture this. You have a child, a daughter or that is outstanding at gymnastics, or a boy that plays the piano, um, they will be excellent if you will able to get them additional classes, additional training, right? You could see this girl that she could become a professional athlete and win medals, or the boy going into, giving concerts and recitals and all that. If you could choose, where will you take your child? To the retired teacher teaching a bunch of kids for free in his basement or the garage? Or are you going to Google and get a expert trainer with good experience, a professional with an outstanding track record that has all the tools to develop that potential in the child? Will you pay for it gladly, knowing that it will give your child the opportunity to have an amazing future, to develop all this potential that is been there? Even when you buy a TV or the latest iPhone, people are willing to invest money when they want the best, right? When you want quality, you want to go for a plasma TV that is a little more expensive, but has the best picture and the best sound. So think about putting some money aside and investing in your health. The first thing that has to change is the perception. You can say, okay, I'm paying for this health system, which is not perfect. It's not working, but don't give the flawed system the only power to help you. If you have the latest phone, a great TV, don't you think that your health also deserves an upgrade? So don't hesitate to invest in your health, to find healing support. Use the best you can get of the system. You know, when I used to be a primary care, I did what I could in order to help my patients. You can do tests, you can have your primary, you can get your supplements, and upgrade to whatever works for you to take you to a higher level. Okay? Harmonize your perspective of that human being behind your doctor, that role. Think that sometimes we don't get to catch a break and we may be experiencing burnout. Okay? When you bring that awareness into your heart, you're actually contributing to your healing. You will say, how? Because if on top of the fact that you are already feeling terrible, you add the resentment, the frustration against a person that is there, that is not even totally guilty, your emotional reaction, your body is in fight or flight. Adrenaline and other substances are released into your bloodstream, your system, and they can increase the amount of pain and inflammation and decrease the response of your immune system and actually the effect of some pain medications. So finding harmony, finding empathy, finding some gratefulness, appreciation for whatever that person can do for you can be very transformative. Use the system, but get a compliment. Fibro is an emotional condition that puts you in a very vulnerable state. You deal with a lot of frustration. Don't let that frustration take the best of you. And do your best to harmonize as much as you can, to switch from your body from that fight or flight mode so you can get into recovery mode more often. If you feel like it, watch my webinar, okay? You can learn more practical tools there to feel more vital, to have more pain-free days, to be more joyful, okay? Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any other questions, if you have any comments. I like to get your messages. I don't get to social media very often, but I do try to answer every single message. Send me any questions that you may have or topics that you would like to discuss, okay? And love your doctor, love the system, use whatever you can, but don't put your eggs in only one basket, okay? See you soon.